Greetings to those who seek the thrill of terror. Brace yourselves, for we bring you 10 videos that will haunt your dreams and make you question the existence of supernatural entities. Take a deep breath and join us on a journey into the dark and twisted world where fear lurks at every corner. This video is not for the faint of heart. It's a chilling account of paranormal activity that has made many viewers afraid. The video shows a young girl playing innocently with her toys. She takes cups one by one and shows them to the camera, unaware of the terror that awaits her. Suddenly, something disturbing happens. A doll behind her starts to move. The girl does not notice it at first, but the camera captures the doll's hand moving on its own. The room is silent except for the sound of the doll's creaky joints as it moves. But the horror doesn't stop there. The girl takes another toy and presents it to the camera, and once again, the doll moves its hand. This time the girl notices, and her reaction is terrifying. She jumps out of her seat and runs away from the room, leaving the viewer to wonder what caused these strange events. The doll's movements were not the result of any physical force or interference from the girl. It seems that some unseen force was controlling the doll, manipulating it to move its body parts all by itself. What kind of evil entity could be responsible for such a sinister act? No one knows for sure. Here you can see what kind of strange event can happen in a house out of nowhere. The girl is checking the vent system in her home, expecting the hot air to come from the vent system above the picture. But what she did not expect was something alarming. After a few seconds, an intense sound created a mess in front of the room and at the stairs. There were shoes everywhere, and this was not the only sound that terrified her. Another bumping sound occurred in the room. This time, it was the picture that fell off the wall, the same picture the girl filmed a few seconds ago. Now it was down on the table, and we still do not have a rational explanation of these events. What caused these disturbing sounds and consequences? Who is behind the terror in this home? Only time will tell. Two brave men decided to venture out to Gettysburg, a place known for its terrifying stories of ghosts and paranormal activities. Despite the warnings, they were eager to uncover the truth and witness the unexplainable. As they waited patiently, the night grew darker and the silence became deafening. Suddenly they spotted a shadowy figure moving on the side of the road. It was an eerie sight. The creature's shape was undefined, and it moved back and forth in an unnatural manner. The men were frightened, but they had to know what they were dealing with. As they watched in horror, the creature's movements became more erratic, and its shape started to change. It was then that they realized that they had stumbled upon something far beyond their understanding. The creature seemed to be a ghost, a being from another world that had come to haunt them. The men were frozen in fear, unable to comprehend what they were witnessing. The ghostly presence lingered for a few more moments before vanishing into the darkness, leaving the men in a state of shock and disbelief. They had witnessed something that defied logic and reason, and it would haunt them for the rest of their lives. A little girl felt something unusual in her room. Her closet was part of her room, and something caused endless trouble for the girl. She wanted to investigate the situation further and find out what was happening around the place. After a few moments of silence, she opened the closet. Nothing seemed unusual, but still, the girl felt something was not right. She was on the right track. Something disturbing happened when she examined the closet and decided to leave the room. After leaving the room, the girl could not witness what happened next. However, the camera captured the strange movement of the opened closet door. In this case, the door closed by itself, and nobody was in the room at that moment. The camera recorded this situation, showing we are not always alone at home. There are always some things we need help explaining. This shocking video was filmed with the intention of showing that we are sometimes surrounded by ghosts and creepy creatures that are out of this world. A man in this video footage checks out the car, but he does not notice the other persons around him. He does not notice them because there are no real persons or neighbors there. But what we can see on camera tells us a different story. Some creature like a ghost is approaching the area around the car, and it goes from the forest to the nearby area where the car was parked. The man, oblivious to this unearthly presence, continues to check out the car without a clue of what is happening around him. What was the creature in the forest, and what was it doing there? This video has left us with a sense of unease, a feeling that there are things out there we cannot comprehend. It reminds us that we are just mere humans living in a world full of mysteries, some of which are not meant to be understood. Zak Bagans is widely recognized as the fearless lead investigator and host of the spine-chilling paranormal reality TV series Ghost Adventures. This show is notorious for exploring the darkest and most haunted locations across the world in search of paranormal activities, employing a mix of scientific and spiritual methods to uncover the truth. Zak and his team visited a museum that was known to be haunted, and what they experienced there was truly terrifying. As they were investigating the premises, they suddenly heard an eerie laugh that sent shivers down their spines.
Oh, wow. You have to actually push it all the way
It has to move that far?
Yeah.
When they stopped the pendulum on the clock, they heard a laugh near them. It was obvious someone was laughing, and this deeply disturbed the team. Who was this, and what was the message of this laughter? One thing is certain, Zak and his friends were terrified. Another scary thing in the video is when Zak and his team feel someone in the room next to the hallway. They feel the presence of some person, but they need to figure out what kind of creature it is.
Feel the air.
That's what I said earlier. I know. I heard someone walking around there.
They hear the name Zak Bagans, and they definitely feel the presence of someone there in the room. What a creepy discovery. In this unnerving video, a person is shown locking the door, seemingly unaware of the evil presence lurking in the shadows. But suddenly, a small creature with long, spindly limbs appears in the hallway, crossing it with an unsettling grace before disappearing into one of the rooms. The person remains oblivious to the creature's existence, but when another person emerges from the room, the air is thick with a sense of unease. What was that creature, and where did it come from? The mystery surrounding its appearance and disappearance leaving a chilling impression on the viewer's mind. Was it a ghostly apparition, or a physical manifestation of something more sinister? The questions linger, haunting the imagination and raising the hairs on the back of the neck. As the woman lay on her sofa, the only sound in the room was the soft hum of the TV. But suddenly, she heard a strange noise that made her heart race. It sounded like footsteps getting closer and closer. Panic set in as she realized she was not alone in the room. She immediately turned back and looked around frantically, but there was no one there. The hair on the back of her neck stood on end as she felt a chilling presence in the room. She was convinced that something supernatural was happening. The footsteps continued, sounding like they were coming from all around her. It was like she was surrounded by some malevolent force that she could not see. This video is proof that we are not always alone in our homes. This guy realized this in a hard manner. It was the middle of the night when he heard some strange sounds in the house. He stood up from the bed and approached the door of the nearby room. He opened the door, and what happened next was truly disturbing. It made his blood run cold. He saw a head or some strange creature in the curtains. The man was frozen in terror because he saw something in the curtains that was playing their game in the room, and he was terrified. He frantically wanted to go back to his room, but what happened next was even worse. The door slammed by itself in front of him. This event is what we call supernatural. We hope the person is unhurt here and that evil forces are not damaging people's lives anymore. Two people are trapped in a nightmare scenario. They hear strange sounds coming from the attic of their home, and their terror grows with each passing moment. They know something is up there with them, something that doesn't belong. With shaking hands, they set up a ladder, and one of them climbs to the attic while the other waits below, praying for their safety. Suddenly, a loud, bumping noise echoes through the attic, and the two are filled with fear. They're sure they're not alone up there. As they continue to investigate, more and more noises fill the air, each one more disturbing than the last. The man in the video climbs to the attic and takes a look at the space. He found nothing, or he thinks he found nothing. When he climbed down the attic stairs, the camera showed footage of some creature in the attic. It had eyes and stared at them. They were definitely not alone in that house. Did these videos leave you terrified? If yes, comment about them and share your horrifying experiences with us. There must be something you cannot forget that truly scares you. Also, remember to share, like, and subscribe to our channel as we continue to make more videos like this one.